Thankful for being here today and excited to be back in Atlanta. I practice with my wife, Dr. Cornell Cornish. She graduated in 2010, Life University graduates. We practice in Dallas, Texas, actually DeSoto, Texas, about 15 minutes south of Dallas. And you guys are leaving. Have a good lunch. You're missing a treat. I'm an avid New Orleans Saints fan. I was in the Superdome this season when we got cheated by the referees. I've never seen so many grown folks, adults, cry walking out of a stadium for a football game in my life. But we are thankful for being here and the opportunity to just come back and just kind of share with you guys. I remember being a student and just hearing the docs and just listening to the stories. And you know, it's 9 years later, and I'm able to come back, second time coming to LifeVision. I just want to talk about, best year yet. My wife, Dr. Tiandra, and I, we've had quite a journey in chiropractic and practice and trying to figure this thing out. And I just like to just share a little bit about, who we are and why we do it, right? So I was reading a book about Phil Knight. And Phil Knight talked about him starting his company and the transformation of Nike from when they started in the 60s into the 70s into where they are now. And he said that cowards never get started, the weak die along the way, and ladies and gentlemen, that leaves us. So many of you probably haven't ever seen me before or heard of me speak, but for the last couple years, I've traveled to Europe and New Zealand and France, all over, for chiropractic and just traveling. And the one thing that I've noticed in chiropractic is that we need unity, right? It doesn't matter if my wife and I, we're a subluxation-based practice. There's three things we do in our office. People they come in and they get evaluated. We use CLA, the substation. They get x-rays in the practice. We analyze those and people get adjusted, okay? I don't care if you're doing, whatever you're doing in your practice, your chiropractic, we need to be together, united, right? So chiropractic is not easy, and we all know this, that chiropractic is a journey, just like, the presenter before me talked about. We've had quite a journey of chiropractic getting people to believe and understand what we do. But, you know what I mean? I think a big reason is we don't get the people to understand why we do this. I know for me, growing up in New Orleans, Louisiana, you know what I mean, coming from, in the hood in New Orleans and having a mindset of, man, if I can even just make $50,000, I have a great life, right? And, one day I got into a car accident and I got, I wasn't really injured. You get into a car accident, New Orleans, somebody hit you from behind, we're going to the doctor and get a check. You know what I mean? Straight up, we're going to get a check. And, at this time, 15 years ago, somebody rear-end you're going to get a nice check. You know what I mean? That could do us some justice. You know what I mean? You get $10,000, $15,000, man, that's half of people's salary in my hood. You know what I mean? So I go into this chiropractor's office, and he's doing, I didn't get adjusted on the first visit. I didn't get adjusted on the second visit, but he was doing therapies and stuff, and he was a nice guy. I remember looking at his hours on his door, and it said Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. He was open all day, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday he was open in the morning. So I was in college at Nicholls State University, about an hour south of New Orleans at the time, Thibodaux, Louisiana, and I asked the dude, I said, man, listen, I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing next. How much money do you make? Straight up. He said, 200 grand. I said, $200,000? He said, yeah, in profit, I make $200,000. So you work 3.5 days a week? The first thought in my mind as a hustler, as a kid, I was a hustler. Some of you guys get that, and I mean hustler. I mean not selling like people's cell phones, but a hustler. I thought about, if I worked 5 days a week, I make $400,000. 6 months later, I was moving to Marietta, Georgia, coming to Life University. And I remember sitting in Dr. Koch's class in the first quarter, not knowing what chiropractic was. He was talking about adjustment and subluxation. And I was just there. Like literally, I was just existing. I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna do 4 years of this, and I'm gonna make 400 G's. And we know it's not easy. We know it's not that easy, okay? As I went through school, I developed, I'm going to tell you, I didn't develop a why during school. I developed a why in practice. I didn't even know about nothing about setting goals. I didn't know anything. All I knew is that I just wanted to change my life, right? And we went through school, and I met these guys in school. I met this dude, this white dude with a big beard from Maine, Michael Viscarelli, walks up to me one day and befriend me. And I'm like, who is this dude? Why is he trying to be my friend? I'm just here to mind my business and make these 400 G's. I am not kidding. Focused. And I remember being in Dr. Mullen's class, and as a kid, I always tell people as a kid, as an adult, even as a young adult, as a teenager, in my crew, I was the bruiser. I can hit somebody one time and knock them out. I can fight 3 or 4 guys at one time. And when we had a problem, we couldn't get our money from somebody, they was calling Zeus. You better believe it. I remember being in Dr. Mullen's class, and I remember the first time I attempted an adjustment, it worked. Changed my life right then and there. I was like, man, there's something I'm good at. So I started taking this chiropractic thing. It became more about money to a passion. And when we got out of school, we moved to Colorado. We went and practiced at Colorado's. We was in Colorado Springs. We was about to open a franchise. We decided, man, we're going to take control of our own lives. We're going to do our own thing. We moved to Dallas, Texas. My family got caught in Hurricane Katrina. So Hurricane Katrina was a sad thing, right? But for my family, my parents went from, being okay to being rich because they owned their properties, they had the proper insurance, and they came up on hundreds of thousands of dollars, and by goodness, I got some of that money to be able to open up a practice. And when we opened that practice, we struggled like a son of a gun because of guidance, not being able to, my parents didn't raise me wrong, but, they weren't raised with a mindset of, you can take control of your life and ownership and self-discipline and self-worth. You know what I mean? We learned that from mentors and through life and going out and through chiropractic. I'm standing in front of y'all today, and as tough as I was and big as a guy was in my hood, I don't even have my street credentials anymore. I've lost those. You know why? I stay out on a property in 45 minutes south of Dallas. Today in our yard, cows or something may be coming through. You know what I mean? Chiropractic has changed our lives. People ask me, you must be living the life of your dreams. People see me and they remember me from school. They remember me. I remember my selling when I was arrested. You know what I mean? I tell our patients all the time during our doctor's report, we call our orientation, if you ever Google me, I've been to jail twice, I've been convicted, so they can know up ahead of time. And now, these days, you know what I mean? We're domesticated, we're suburb, we travel across the country, we go on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 vacations a year, and chiropractic has done all of this. Chiropractic has changed our lives. So when we go to fighting in chiropractic, we got to remember at the end of the day, we have to be united. Yeah, I'm pissed sometimes when I see some of my friends selling CBD oil, but they're chiropractors still, and that's what they chose to do, and that's the rhythm or the way they chose to go about in their life and their practice. Maybe they couldn't stand in front of their practice members, and maybe they couldn't have their team tomorrow in the heat in Dallas, Texas, talk about subluxation and that, if you put a deposit down for an appointment, by the time Monday comes, these people are going to pay us thousands of dollars. Maybe they don't have that principle, right? But at the end of the day, we still chiropractors. And who and why are we doing it for? Not for us to rah-rah each other. I go to conferences all the time, people rah-rahing. That's cool. We need that crap sometimes. But forgive me. I drop those things every now and then, get in trouble. But yeah, funniest thing has nothing to do with this presentation, what you even thought. I got 2 little kids, and one day, they were in the house wrestling. My wife was out of town on a girls trip. And they were wrestling, and Tinsley is 6 and Tatum's 8. And Tatum's holding Tinsley down. And I heard Tinsley yell, "Tatum, get your A off of me!" She said the full word. And I just died laughing, and I couldn't even get mad at the child because the daddy cuss all the time, okay? So why are we doing it? Why we choose to stay the course? Why did Tiandra and I stay the course when we were struggling? And I mean, literally struggling behind on the rent and the practice. Why would we choose to stay the course for chiropractic? Because we remained true in our principle, right? And we understood that there were things that we need to learn: ownership, self-discipline, all of these things, right? And we stay true and we preserve, right? But who are we doing it for? We're doing it for the community. I can tell y'all this week, the lady that the people told her she can't walk, she'll never walk again. 3 years ago, she's getting nerve blocks. Came in the office yesterday, and guess what? She went from a walker to a cane. If we be meaty freaking ochre, we can't help these people. So we have to remain united. There's times where I've been in conferences, people are like, oh, you got to give. And I've donated $500. I could have got me a new Louis Vuitton belt with those $500, but I understood that was important. I gave $500 to a school that's opening in Scotland, and a couple months later, God emails me, thank you for your donation. We're having a conference in Edinburgh, you want to come out? So now we get to go across the country and spread what we're talking about across the world to become united. Who is that for? It's for chiropractic. It's for the community. It's for chiropractic. We lose chiropractic. None of us sitting here right now. I'll tell y'all one thing. We lose chiropractic. I'm selling more cocaine than I've ever sold in my life because my lifestyle is totally different. My lifestyle is totally different, right? So, y'all laughing. I'm so serious. It's no way I can go back to New Orleans and to the street. It's no way. I love chiropractic, man. People say, man, y'all must be living the life of y'all dreams. I never thought I can live like this, ever. So what we have is important. You know what I mean? What we have is special. The ability to be able to connect with people, to warm. Yeah, sometimes we got to talk people into paying thousands of dollars for something that they need, but that's our responsibility and that's our duty. So, how do you go about all of this? I know for a lot of people, for myself, it was distractions. Where we from, it's all about keeping it real and take care of our people, right? I've spent tens of thousands of dollars keeping it real with my family, bringing them on the expensive vacations with us. And, it got to a point, it's like, man, I don't owe y'all no more. I paid y'all back. Y'all come on vacation with us. Y'all get on our damn nerves. We can't enjoy. When we come back, we like, man, we're never doing that again. Next vacation, we taking y'all again. So we got rid of toxic family members and friends. We love them from a distance. Birthdays come, we send nice gifts. We're not going. You know what I mean? You got to get rid of all the distractions because if you're distracted, first of all, you can't serve chiropractic, you can't serve community, you can't serve your family members. Most importantly, I believe in a higher power, which is God. Is like, man, you got to be right in the mind to be able to help all of these people remove subluxation, right? Man, we bought lessons. We made terrible investments by not being, not being grounded, not in the principle of chiropractic, but our principle of what we wanted for our lives. So, just distractions, right? So you got to take control. So for us, it's like we had to become self-disciplined. When you're not raised like that, you know what I mean? When you're talking about in these practices, guys, this year our goal is to see 600 visits a week, and we talking about seeing all of these visits. You know what I mean? You guys know that been in these practices making it. I mean, it's a lot of money to come through, and for us, it's like, holy crap, what is this? You got to remain disciplined and focused to be able to create a life, because we know for a fact that chiropractic is not going to make us tens of millions of dollars, right? And I go to conferences, people don't like to talk about money, but at the end of the day, we can't come back and do President's Circle. We can't be the title sponsor for the chamber. If you want to start a 501c3, you can't do that if you're not making the money. In order for you to make the money, you have the service, right? It's about the service and it's going to come, right? But, for us to create other streams and do other things and, just to be great, you know what I mean? When we be mediocre, man, we just robbing the world blind. We weren't put here to be average. And it's something that we had to learn. I don't know about y'all and how y'all was raised, but you know what I mean? As a kid and going through college, go to college, make 50 G's, have a family member. Hell, I feel sorry for my friends that tell me they make 50 G's. You guys are starving, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we had to come self-disciplined. And we got the definition. You guys can read this, the definition of self-discipline. But, it's the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses, and the ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite the temptations to abandon it. And, you have to retrain yourselves, you guys that's in practice. Everybody, I don't know about everybody in this room, but everybody in chiropractic is not doing great. You know what I mean? I'm one of the leaders with AMP, and, it's a fast-growing organization where a lot of students and a lot of people start doing well from the beginning, but there's a whole lot more that's not doing well from the beginning, and there's friends and people that contact us that's not doing well. We have the duty and the responsibility for us that's doing well to help those people too. How do you do that? You know what I mean? I can tell you personally, it's about helping people's mindset. I discovered that everybody that was white wasn't rich. Everybody that was Hispanic or Asian wasn't self-disciplined. It becomes about how you were raised and what's your mindset, what are you going through? Some of us are stronger and weaker than others, but as chiropractors, no matter if you're selling CBD oil, or you doing nutrition, or you subluxation-based, we still chiropractic. And at the end of the day, whatever you choose, chiropractic is founded upon subluxation, but now it's a wide umbrella, right? But it's still chiropractic. And if we do the infighting and we get rid of each other, we gonna all be selling dope together or something. Y'all laughing, we're gonna do something because we won't have chiropractic. And right now, a lot of us, this morning, what I said when I got on the plane last night? S-H-I-T. I forgot my Rolex and my cash on the office because I was still seeing practice members, and I had an 8:30 flight to Atlanta. We don't close till 7, and I was still adjusting at 7:30. You know what I said? I never thought that I can legally, through serving the community, helping people get better, removing subluxation, to go and speak at a conference in front of other doctors and presidents of school, that I can do this and talk about my legal Rolex. We are spoiled, and you guys need to get over it, and we need to band together, all right? I'm right. You go to more conferences than I do, because I'm trying to serve the community so I can, do some other things, because we know chiropractic is going to make. Dr. Riekman talked about this years ago, about the Affleck guy. He didn't make me, right? Yeah. So I'm trying to take my money and buy some shit like Affleck. You know what I mean? Make some tens of millions. But it sounds funny. You guys know I'm right, because we all are invested in different things. If you can afford it. If not, your time's going to come. If you just keep serving and just stick, to the principle of chiropractic, and we stay together, and, we build and grow this thing. But you got to be consistent. I mean, the one thing that I know that with Tiandra and I is a lot of times we didn't stay consistent when things got tough or when the practice wasn't growing. Right now, man, we've been trying to go from 500 to 600 visits a week for a minute now. It's finally just refactoring some things, just training the team, and really, you got to come to these conferences because you got to get re-dipped for the love and the passion, right? Because we get stuck on the island in our offices, right? So coming to these things, I don't mean disrespect when I say these things, but coming to conferences and different things just really ignite you. Sometimes it's one thing a person could say to light a fire up under you, and then you just boom, blast up to that next level in practice. So you got to be consistent. The results, man. We love chiropractic, right? People get better. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. There's times we forget, right? You get something happening in your neck, and my wife adjusts me, and she's like, we have this cutoff thing that we just developed in our house. We don't talk about business and chiropractic after a certain time. And I asked my wife, does that mean if I got a crook in my neck, can I not get adjusted after 12 too? So we know that the results is working. It's just being consistent. And my time is on a 0 here. So, I don't even really need the rest of that. But I just want to say, for myself, thank you to you all. Thank you to our giants in chiropractic, the people that stood before us, because I know for a fact, I don't know, I'm 36 years old, and if it wasn't for chiropractic has saved my life. I don't know where I would be, or what jail cell that I might be in, or what graveyard that I would probably be in, but this has changed my life, and I'm so thankful, and I'm just continue to just want to spread chiropractic, spread the love, and just for us to be united for this thing can grow, because the bigger it grows, the more that we're able to help our communities and the profession, and the better that all our lives are. Thank you.